Hello and welcome back to my Devil May Cry 5 Hell in Hell S-Rank guide. This is mission 4, V, and it's also time for V. V has to come, you could say. So first up here, I'm gonna take a few minutes to talk about what we're going to do on the forthcoming missions, and also show some basic tips and tricks for doing Hell in Hell with V. There is already a guide, as I've mentioned before, by a guy called XX Irish Pry 42 XX, where the auto-assist strategy is utilized for V. What I want to show you here instead is how to do the missions without auto-assist. The surplus from doing the missions without auto-assist is that you will have more control over it by allowing you to take up to 2 hits per mission without having to restart, as what I will show you here will net you style points also. These two factors combined will hopefully work towards mitigating the randomness and nervousness, as taking a hit with auto-assist will force you to restart, as the auto-assist works as a penalty mutator for your end rank score. There are two exceptions to the no auto-assist rule, however, which quite inconsistently with and contradictory to my intention is half the missions with B. But mission 5 is like with mission 8 and 10 for some reason very hard to net style points on. Even if you're playing very well, and I also personally had trouble making up the style points on the boss. So for that reason we're going to use the auto assist on that mission to speed it up and take our chances. On mission 14 we're also going to use auto assist, but the reason for that is solely to speed it up. You don't need to use auto assist in terms of style points if you don't want to, but the mission is very easy and auto assist makes the fight go so much faster. So that's the method I will advocate in this guide. Mission 4 and 9 though are very, very hard not to take hits on. So hopefully my method will at least amount to something on those particular V missions. So for some basic tips with V on Hell in Hell. The move I most intensely will endorse is V's promotion ender move. You jump, spin the left analog in a full circle motion clockwise and press circle or B. This will mitigate the risk of the standard gambit and checkmate enders, as you won't get up close and personal with the enemies. It costs 1 bar of Devil Trigger though, so I only use Nightmare to revive Shadow and Griffin if they stalemate. I also don't focus on protecting them with the thereof designated moves. I just play very aggressive by mixing up Shadow's 2 combos and different moves with Griffin to build style and Devil Trigger, knowing that I can just revive them that way by activating Devil Trigger. The last tip is to start off fights against easy enemies like the Caninas with jumping off them and then do an air taunt to get some free Devil Trigger, as I never used the book. So the reason that we won't use auto assist on this mission is that the boss is very, very hard not to take damage against. I tried this mission with auto assist a few times, and I always take some random damage off the boss. But doing no damage with V in the actual fights without auto assist isn't that hard at all. The thing you need to worry about a little bit if you don't use auto assist is getting the sufficient style points. But it's pretty easy to do that with the V. If you use the promotion technique like I just showed you, it builds style. You're gonna see me use it here soon. There. You see, I got a triple S when I use the promotion ender. So the only thing I'm focusing on is I mix up Shadow's 2 combos, and then I save Devil Trigger for when Griffin or Shadow stalemates. That's pretty much all I'm doing. And with Griffin, I'm just mixing some attacks. So I'm holding the action button a lot to do his charge moves, and then I try to get a double check in here and there, especially on the bosses. I try to get the double check in as it builds styles and does decent damage. But I got a triple S here, so that should be a good starting point in terms of style points. I'm 200 points over what we need. And this mission is a little annoying because it forces you to fight a non-mandatory fight by initiating Devil Trigger. That can screw a little bit with your style points, but you can just make it up on the boss. The boss, he's hard not to take hits against, but he's easy to rank up style points against because of all his tentacles. You just do the charge move with Griffin on his tentacles, and it builds a lot of style. And he gets stunned too, and that's when you really have the chance to build some style points. But here's a fight against the behemoth, and it's not an enemy you need to worry about with V at all. And the behemoth was out of the camera, so I didn't use the promotion there, I just used the gambit ender. And you see I'm doing a double check now, just mixing up some attacks. I got the full devil trigger, so I don't need to worry at all in this fight. Their shadow got stalemated, so I just summoned the nightmare instantly to revive him. And there really isn't much more to V than that. Just doing the promotion ender and saving nightmare for when Griffin and Shadow get stalemated. If you do that, you should have no trouble getting the triple S and the double S ranks. And that set me back a little bit by a few style points, but not the end of the world. As you see, I haven't even dodged yet. The enemies, they usually, as long as you're keeping Shadow and Griffin alive by doing Nightmare when they get stalemated, the enemies very seldom focus here. And my capture card got a little finicky here, but and as you see here again, the promotion ender technique, it's giving me the style points I need. So it's probably the most imperative move to do with V on Hell and Hell. It's you can compare it to the baseline with Narrow. It's keeping you safe and it builds style at the same time. And as you saw here, I'm below the style points now because it forced me to do this fight. But I don't worry about that because on the boss I can easily make up the style points, even though I take a hit, as I will do. So don't worry about style points on this mission, as long as you do the so-called baseline for V, which is just using his promotion move. The only enemy that you need to worry about when you play with V is the big Baphomet on mission 9. I'm gonna take a hit against that enemy, but I'm not using auto assist on that mission, so it won't be a problem. You see, I'm just mixing up the two attacks with Griffin. Or I mean Shadow, and charging with Griffin and doing the promotion ender when there are multiple enemies. And here comes a nobody, and the nobody isn't a problem with V. And their Shadow got stalemated, so I instantly summoned Nightmare. And the next fight, I'm gonna play very bad. I think I only will get an A rank. So I was thinking about that I should maybe restart and do another take in this mission, but as I thought about it, it demonstrates that even if you play bad, in terms of style points, you can still get the S rank if you make it up for it on the boss. So there's really no reason to use auto assist at all on this mission. It's just gambling, in my opinion, using the auto assist when you don't need to.
Blood is the source of his strength. I must cut off his supply.
So the Heljudekia is annoying to get style points against with V also. It's probably the easiest of the three to get style points against, but well, I mean, V is the easiest of all the three characters to get style points against Udekia, but I will fail. I will fail it hard here. I think I'll only get an A rank. The enemies, they died there before I could get my rank up, and I'm 300 points under what we need, but we can easily make that up on the boss here. As I said, he's hard not to take damage against, but he's easy to get style points up. So we're going to utilize those two facts to avoid using auto assist. Here's a funny cutscene that unfortunately we're going to skip. So as you see, what I'm doing here is I'm doing Griffin's maximum charge when he has his tentacles out. And then I'm just jumping back and forth to avoid the tentacles when they shoot. And I'm keeping my eye on the Qliphoth root Parasite all the time to avoid his attacks. Now he just backed off. And there I saw an opportunity not to use the promotion and waste Devil Trigger, so I utilized it. And here comes his slashes, and you just stay in the middle and jump to either side, and it will never ever hit you. And but he stalemated Shadow there, so I used Nightmare. See, I'm just jumping around. Whenever he comes down with his slashes, I'll just jump to either side. Now he is stalemated, or I mean he's stunned. So now I'm going to use a double check and just get the triple S like you saw there. And that's all the style points you'll ever need. So now we got the S rank done. Now we're just going to finish it. And I still have 3 gold orbs, so I can take up to 2 hits here without any problems. And that attack too, when he charges and spins, you just jump to the side. It's the parasites shooting that you need to worry about. When they shoot their goo, that is the attack that's hardest to dodge. I think it's gonna get me soon. I don't know how it get me, but it does get me. Yeah, you see there, I think I ran into the acid or something, I don't know, but there's the mandatory hit. But we got the triple S on the boss already, so there's no reason to restart. We're good in terms of style points. As you see here now, I'm doing the promotion technique because there are more than one There are more than 2 parasites alive. Stalemate, I instantly summon Nightmare. Here comes his slashes. I'll just stay in the middle and jump to the side and he won't do anything. And when you have Nightmare active, Griffin and Shadow are invincible. So if you have a lot of Devil Trigger and you see them about to die and you want to keep attacking and keep the style points up, just summon Nightmare. Got an S rank here again. But I think this is my first take without auto assist, and I get the S rank. And I tried this mission a couple of times, probably 3 or 4 times with auto assist, and I always took a hit and had to restart. So I very much advocate you not using auto assist on this mission. And that's it. That's the hardest V mission out of the way.
What do you say?
And it's the hardest because of this boss fight and trying not to take a hit. Let's see what style points we get. So 5 over is a little tight because of the mandatory skippable fight. But still, this method will get the job done as long as you get the triple S on the Qliphoth Parasite boss.